What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be going over the cryptocurrency markets and discussing some major things happening. We also just had Bored Ape Yacht Club's ApeCoin launch, which is going to be great for the entire crypto space, in my opinion. Lots of NFT projects launching coins now. That's at a $2.3 billion market cap. So I do want to talk about that in my predictions with that. They have announced some other big things, but they're pretty much taking over the entire NFT space. And we have some data that does suggest that a supply shock could be coming to Bitcoin and Ethereum. We do have a major breaking point with some major news. I definitely think prices could be skyrocketing very soon. All right, everyone. So everything in the crypto markets has been pretty boring. We've pretty much been on a roller coaster going between $38,000 and $42,000 Bitcoin, bouncing between there. But I do have some data that does suggest we could be seeing a supply shock happening very soon that I do want to go over, and go over some of this other news, some stuff with NFTs and the new launch of the Ape Coin by Bored Ape Yacht Club, which has just been going crazy today. So lots of big things happening right now. And I do believe if we do have some major breaking news that's great for crypto, that could be the breaking point we need to really surge again, retesting the high 40,000s, even $50,000 Bitcoin. So I do think that's more likely than not at this current state. Of course, any really bad news can also cause more fear. I do believe fear is priced into the markets right now, just like we saw greed was priced into the markets previously when Bitcoin hit previous all-time highs end of 2021. So I do want to go over some Bitcoin data that does suggest that a supply shock could be coming with any major breaking event in the crypto space that causes a lot of FOMO and demand. Could easily send this upwards to $50,000 Bitcoin or even more, depending on the event and what happens, how much demand it actually draws to the crypto space. So short-term supply is shrinking. The chart below shows the relative proportion of the coin supply held by short-term holders who accumulated within the last 155 days. This cohort are statistically the most likely to sell their coins in the face of market volatility, especially during a final capitulation flush out. So STH supply is currently near all-time lows, which is constructive for prices. However, 82% of these coins, 2.5 million Bitcoins, are currently held at a loss and are in turn the most likely source of sell-side pressure. So we do have to consider that there is a lot of Bitcoin out there that could be dumped with any major breaking news still. So we also have signs of long-term demand persisting. Having now established a macro context of sell-side supply, we now look towards signals of longer range demand, 3 months plus. Coinbase in particular has seen a very large net outflow this week, totaling 31,000 Bitcoin, which is $1.18 billion at this current Bitcoin price. This is the largest net outflow since July 28, 2017. And as you guys know, if you were around at that time, that's really before things started picking up and before we saw the true peak of that bull market. A lot of people thought that mid 2017 was actually the peak of the bull market. Things ended up settling a little bit lower and going sideways for quite a while, but headed towards the end of 2017, things did start picking up. Lots of retail FOMO. The space was not prepared for it. There was not enough crypto platforms that could handle that type of volume. So things fell apart very quickly at that time with such high demand. This time around, there's so many different platforms that can handle this type of demand. So as more of the Bitcoin supply gets taken out of circulation, when we do actually get a surge of demand again, that's just going to be very bullish because there's less supply in the markets, meaning the more demand there is, the higher the price is going to rise much easier. So as we can see here, the red bars following March 2020 is also quite apparent in the chart below. This remains a strong signal that investors increasingly see Bitcoin as a relevant asset in modern portfolios. Definitely a great sign here, as we can see the chart. So where we're currently at here, on the red, 31,000 Bitcoin, and the last time we were at those levels, as you guys can see, back in 2017. And that, look at the price action shortly after that. Everything started picking up and surging to the peak of that bull market after that, a few months after, end of 2017, early 2018. Then we started entering a bear market. Still, the prices were much higher for quite some time. Then when we had this event here. So net transfer volume from or to exchanges, this is a good sign because it means a lot of people are sending their Bitcoin out of exchanges, holding it in long-term storage. So outflows are generally a good thing, showing people are buying to store their Bitcoin long-term. But inflows can be a sign that the markets are dumping, as we can see a peak here of inflows in March of 2020 when there was that massive panic and the markets bottomed out, dropping over 50% in a day when we're already in a bear market. One of the scariest Bitcoin crashes I've ever been a part of. So we did have 20,580 Bitcoin inflow into Coinbase at that time, and people were just panic dumping, trying to get cash out, fears of coronavirus and how that would play out. Very understandable. A lot of people were panicking at that time and thinking more about their survival than their long-term investments. So events like that, we could definitely see that's when we had the huge market crash. And then we could see net outflows started really picking up here beginning of 2021, right before the market started peaking, and we hit that distribution phase before the market crashed again. And as you guys can see, another huge wave of Bitcoin inflows here, and that was basically the bottom around July 20th. And then after that, huge Bitcoin outflows again. The market started rising after these three huge outflow events. Now we're getting the biggest one we've had yet. So if we do get some massive breaking news, I definitely see the markets pumping. Definitely $50,000 Bitcoin is major resistance. Before that, 48,000. But seeing something like this massive outflow is definitely a good sign. There's a huge confidence in Bitcoin still. People holding long term, seeing this as a great long term investment, confident to take it off Coinbase, hold this long term. Compared to last time we've seen this level, July 2017, before the market skyrocketed, having the last peak bull market. So looking at the illiquid supply shock ratio, we can see a significant uptick this week, suggesting that these withdrawn coins have been moved into a wallet with little to no history of spending. Definitely a good sign, showing that these people are taking their Bitcoin off Coinbase to hold this long term. As you guys can see the chart here, bear market distribution, this is going down. Illiquid supply shock ratio, turning the tides during a bear market, going sideways. Accumulation as we're headed end of 2020 into that peak bull market we had. That ended up dropping a little bit again, but now recovering once again also could be a great sign as well. So definitely some good data here that does make me confident in the markets. But like I said, anything can really happen with current events. But it is good to get a perspective on what generally has a better chance of happening here. And I definitely think some major event that will happen over the next couple months could send us into a supply shock and send Bitcoin back up to 50,000 plus very easily. So we do have some other news in the markets as well. Ukraine legalizes crypto sector as digital currency donations continue to pour in. Ukraine has raised a ton of money through cryptocurrency donations on Twitter and everything. That's great to see. So Ukraine has passed a law that creates a legal framework for the cryptocurrency industry in the country. The law allows for foreign and Ukrainian cryptocurrency exchanges to operate legally. Definitely a great step in the right direction for crypto, especially in a time of need for Ukraine. Having that option is definitely bullish on crypto. So Ukraine has had a lot of donations in cryptocurrency, and I believe they're creating their own cryptocurrency. They mentioned something about a snapshot they're taking of those that did make donations to Ukraine, if you check out their Twitter page. So I'll keep you guys updated on that info if they do release that. So Bitcoin faces new milestone in 2022 as new forecast predicts Bitcoin price in the millions. So gold surpassing Bitcoin's returns this year is unlikely, says Mike McGlone, while former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes predicts seismic changes for both assets in the coming years. So gold beating Bitcoin is unlikely this year. I really don't believe that, as we've seen with history. But we can see former BitMEX CEO says $1 million Bitcoin is coming. That's a bit far-fetched. I do think we need to hit $100,000 before we really start looking at $1 million Bitcoin. But when we do zoom out at the greater picture, with inflation continuing year after year, Bitcoin becoming more relevant and having more mass adoption, more products using it and everything, I do see a $1 million Bitcoin happening, but probably 10 to 20 years down the line. But regardless, I do see that as a good hedge against inflation for the very long term. Buying these things, very speculative assets for the short term as a hedge against inflation, especially buying at peak prices like people were. It's very unlikely that in the short term that's going to be a great hedge against inflation, unless you're looking at this for the very long term, zooming out. Buying at these peaks when there's peak FOMO as a hedge against inflation isn't a good idea. But when you do have a good strategy and you dollar cost average and stuff and buy major dips, that's how you can make it a great hedge against inflation. So Bitcoin maintains 40,000 support as Fed confirms first rate hike in 4 years. So the markets did start pumping after this, but they are stating there's more rate hikes to come. So we'll see how that plays out. So besides the Bitcoin news and everything, we do have Apecoin that did launch. This is actually pumping more since I launched the video. Pretty crazy here. This actually hit a peak of $40 when it actually launched. As you guys can see here, the high $39.40 in the last 24 hours, pretty much when it went live on exchanges. Did crash very low. Not too low, but low compared to that. Now recovering a little bit, getting close to $10. Pretty amazing. I actually got a massive airdrop of this because I do hold a good amount of Bored Apes and everything. I'm just going to be holding that long term, waiting to see what kind of other things they do offer for this. There's speculation and word that they are doing a land sale that will be taking the Ape token as payment. They're creating multiple games that use the Ape token. I do think they're going to create their own metaverse, which how much funding they have. They actually just bought out CryptoPunks, which was this other biggest NFT project that really got the NFT space going. So they now own pretty much the peak of the NFT market. Now they have their own cryptocurrency, which is a top 50 coin at rank 48. I see this being a top 10 cryptocurrency down the line once they do have products that are mainstream and the ecosystem continues growing. I could definitely see them doing a new NFT set that has a much higher supply as well, something like 50,000 or 100,000. And I do believe the land sale they're doing for whatever they're creating is going to be over 100,000. I did see some speculation on this, and that they'd be raising a few $100 million more because of that. So how this plays out will be interesting. Right now, this is very hyped up. Be very cautious buying into anything during the launch, as we've seen with other token airdrops. Generally during the launch, there's a lot of hype. They can go up a few X in a short period of time. But then as attention dies down and stuff, of course, the price of the token goes down with it. So a couple of examples of these airdrop tokens that didn't go so well after launch. OpenDAO SOS was one of the first in the NFT space. For those that had activity on the OpenSea platform, did get a huge airdrop of this. So those that traded more got rewarded more. And as you guys can see, huge run up here in the first couple days. It peaked out and had a steady decline here, having a couple recoveries. But overall, this has gone to a flat price, down over 75% as well. And then another one that launched more recently was LooksRare Looks token. So this is an OpenSea competitor, and I really like what they're doing here. Really creating some competition for OpenSea is necessary, and it helps the entire space advance as a whole. And we're getting some other OpenSea competitors launching soon also. So this hasn't been doing too great. As we can see, this peaked out after the launch. It actually continuously was going up for a couple weeks, peaking out around $7, now at $1.20. Just another example of how these airdrops can go. Of course, we don't know what Bored Ape Yacht Club has in the works for the Ape token. They could have some planned utility and events and stuff that really continues the hype, and we could see this peak out much higher than where it currently is. But in the very long term, I do see Apecoin being a great long-term investment. Not saying these current prices are good, but in the long term, seeing how much of the NFT market they control and how successful they've been, how many celebrities are buying into the Bored Ape Yacht Club, this is probably only going to continue growing, especially since they have such massive funding. If they don't build huge things like their own metaverse, their own OpenSea competitor, multiple games, I think they're going to be doing all of this. I bet they're even going to create a Bored Ape amusement park eventually. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So massive funding in this project. This allows for anyone to get into the Bored Ape ecosystem now. You'll be able to play their games with the Apecoin and not own any of their NFTs. But like I said, you should look out for a much larger Bored Ape ecosystem NFT set that will be coming in the future. I do think they will continuously have more opportunities over time. So we also had Coinbase and pretty much every other big exchange launch the Ape token on the launch day. So they had a lot of great organization with this for the launch, a lot of partnerships and stuff, and people stating that they're going to give utility to the Ape token also. So definitely a good solid launch here. Also, we had Elon Musk comments about cryptocurrencies, stating that he still owns and won't sell his Bitcoin, Ethereum, or his Dogecoin. So he's confirming he's diamond hands, still holding from the beginning of last year. I guarantee if Elon Musk did start accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other cryptos as payment for Tesla cars again, and they did make another acquisition. I think next they're going to be making a large acquisition of either Ethereum or Dogecoin. I think that would make sense, seeing as where the future is headed with DeFi and the NFT space. Lots of activity on the Ethereum network, lots of ETH being burned. I could definitely see Tesla or SpaceX or Elon Musk making a large acquisition, and that really helping give the crypto space another pump again. But we really need some other companies to start buying into cryptocurrencies, holding Bitcoin and Ethereum on their balance sheets, not just these select few companies. So we have Avalanche looking pretty good right now as well. This is one coin I do hold a lot of. I got in dollar cost average throughout 2021, which ended up being a great investment. Continuing to hold this for the long term. It is an Ethereum competitor. I do like how they're building and everything. So we have Avalanche price can double by summer as AVAX's 20% weekly rally rekindles a bull flag. So definitely a project you should have on your radar. Not saying current prices are a good entry point. You should always do your own research also, but for me, this is a long-term hold. So Planet Zolo, our new NFT set, is live. They're currently unrevealed, but they are on OpenSea if you guys are interested. Right now, they're in the unrevealed state as a space pod, as you guys can see here. And this is going to be up to a 20,000 set. Right now is around 11,000 because we also have Zolo keys, which basically allows you to mint a villager of Zolo as well. This has its own OpenSea here, as you guys can see. So that is going to be a set that's deflationary, while villagers is inflationary up to 20,000. But I do think that's going to be slowly over time. And after the reveal, it will be interesting to see how that plays out, but very excited for this reveal. The art is amazing for this. We have a great storyline. We're building multiple games. We're doing everything we can for this, and we're doing a lot of huge things for the JRNY Club as well. That's going to remain the main focus in the ecosystem. So we're really going all out on this. I'm making this my life's work. As I stated previously, it doesn't matter where the markets are. We are in an NFT downtrend, but that doesn't stop me from building. Our team is growing. Just today, we hired a creative manager that is building a team to get more marketing going for the sets. We're going to be participating in all the NFT conferences and anything, so you guys might be able to catch us there. And if you are in the JRNY Club, we do have a Discord currency called Stardust that you can earn just by being part of the community and participating in community events and stuff. And our new game coming out, you will be able to earn Stardust also, which will be launching in early Q2. It is a battle style game with the Zolo characters. So the Villagers of Zolo NFTs will reveal on Sunday. We will post an exact time in the Discord along with some other information on the set and the JRNY Club. And you will be able to earn Stardust with your villagers also. You just will have to go to the JRNY Club server. So we are integrating that, and we are working on getting a warehouse right now and getting some physical items we can add to the Stardust store, as well as some merch, and then digital items as well, like whitelist spots, tickets to NFT conferences, as well as NFTs from our community wallet and other things. If you guys have any ideas on stuff you want us to add, please let us know also. We're really trying to put as much as we can into this, and we do appreciate your support. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about the crypto and NFT space in this current state. If we're going bear market, or if things are just temporarily going sideways and we are headed back into an uptrend, into a supply shock where the crypto markets will begin recovering towards mid-year. So that's it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.